What's going on, you guys? My name is Josh. I am a professional businessman, which I'm sure you already knew that because of the bandana that I'm wearing. But this does not mean that I don't make mistakes in my business. In fact, I recently made a mistake that could have been my most costly mistake ever. And as I was thinking about why I did this, I realized that the majority of mistakes we make as small business owners stem from this one issue. And I want to make a video to talk about that today. Again, my name is Josh. I go by Harry Tornado here on the internet, and my full-time job is selling things on eBay and making videos about it. The mistake that I recently made, and the topic of today's video, is based in this reselling business model, but I think if we look at the bare bones and the cause behind this mistake, it can be applied to any business model. First, I'll go ahead and tell you guys what the mistake actually was. So the other day, I went to the thrift store looking for things to flip onto eBay, and I picked up these two items. These are two Hex dumbbells. This one is 35 pounds and this one is 30 pounds, okay? I paid $5.97 each for these, and if you're wondering why I didn't keep them for my personal weightlifting collection, is because I don't lift anything under 50 pounds, because that's just a joke for someone as strong as I am. So I decided to list them for sale on eBay right now because most gyms in most states are still closed. Gym equipment, workout at home equipment is selling very, very well on online selling platforms. I knew these would sell very quickly, but you have to make sure you choose the right shipping option when it comes to items that are this heavy. Both of these are pretty small items, but they're very heavy, 30 and 35 pounds respectively. So the best option to use to ship these once they sell on eBay or whatever site you use to sell them on is a large flat rate box from the United States Postal Service. I got the weights home from the thrift store, I took some pictures and listed them on eBay, and in both of these listings I put that these items will be shipped with the USPS large flat rate box. Now, if you're watching this video and you don't know about all the shipping rules, if you ship these dumbbells in a large flat rate box, they'll cost about $20 to ship anywhere in the United States. However, if you don't have one of these boxes and you have to ship in a regular, brown cardboard box, they could cost as much as $70, $80, $100, depending on how far it's going. So there's a huge price difference here. When I listed these dumbbells for sale, I knew one, that they would sell very, very quickly, and two, that I did not have in my possession any large flat rate boxes from the United States Postal Service. I literally said to myself, I'll just figure it out later. And saying that was my mistake. So I found the dumbbells, I got super excited, I listed them quickly, I knew the appropriate way to ship them, and I knew I didn't have the supplies for that, but I didn't care because I let the thought of all this profit flood my judgment. Now again, for you guys that don't really know about shipping, you can't just go to any post office and pick up a large flat rate box. I would say most post offices in the United States do not have these on hand. You would generally have to order them from the USPS website and they would send them to your house. They don't cost any money, they're free, you just have to pay the postage. But I needed them that day. I listed the dumbbells on a Wednesday, they sold on a Thursday, and I was supposed to ship them out on a Friday. And I went to my one post office that I normally go to and I asked them if they had any boxes, and they didn't. So now I was at the point where, if I ship these dumbbells in a regular box, they're not gonna cost $20 each. They're gonna cost more like $50 to $75 each, depending on, where the customer lives. And that's a huge deal because that would eat almost all of my profit that I was making on each dumbbell. There are a few other resellers that live in my community that I'm friends with on Instagram, so I sent out some messages asking if they had any large flat rate boxes on hand, and I didn't have any luck with that either. Luckily, one of them told me about a post office on the other side of town that generally has a pretty good stockpile of all sorts of boxes, and he was correct. I went there yesterday, which was Friday, like 30 minutes before they actually closed, and they had exactly 3 large flat rate boxes in stock, so I got 2 of those. So in this particular situation, everything did work out eventually, but it was still incredibly stressful and incredibly stupid on my part to just write it off as I will figure it out later. If I had gone to that post office and they did not have large flat rate boxes in stock, I would have had to order them online, and they could have taken up to 2 weeks to get to my house. So I would have had to cancel the orders and refunded the buyer's money and risk a negative feedback. Again, I let the thought of that profit on the dumbbells overtake my judgment. The appropriate way to handle this situation would be to find the dumbbells and then secure the boxes necessary in my possession before listing them. Again, I knew these dumbbells would sell pretty much instantaneously. I don't know why I thought this was gonna be a good idea. How many times in business has using the phrase, "I'll figure it out later," led to problems in the future? For me personally, probably 4. In my business of reselling, most of those mistakes have been in the realm of shipping. Usually it's when you have a large, heavy item that you want to sell on eBay, but you don't take the time to do the correct dimensions and weight of that item. You just guess that it might weigh 6 pounds or so, but then once it actually sells and the buyer pays shipping for that 6-pound rate, you get it all packed up and realize that it actually weighs 15 pounds. And then the amount that the buyer paid for that 6-pound rate is not going to cover the cost to ship it. Therefore, you have to eat those costs. I have made that same mistake literally 3 or 4 times. And every single time it's because I said, "I'll figure it out later." And I'm sure you guys can think of other mistakes that resellers could make using this, "we'll figure it out later" mindset. Dude, I just bought 6 pallets of broken TVs for $400. This is a great deal. Yeah, it's a pretty good deal, but don't you live in a 1-bedroom apartment and you don't have a storage unit and you don't know how to fix TVs? Oh yeah, but we'll figure it out later. But if we look at other businesses outside of reselling, I think the biggest mistake they make is going into too much debt with the mindset of "we'll figure it out later." Especially new businesses, when you're starting out and you just have a dream and a passion and you're super motivated and you kind of lose a sense of the risk you're taking on with that small business loan. You find a cool building to rent and that gets you all excited and your friends and family are behind you and the bank approves your loan and you just get excited. And when somebody asks you, "Hey, how are you gonna pay this loan back?" you say, "We'll figure it out later." And I hate to break it to you guys, but most small businesses never figure it out. So in conclusion of today's video, don't wait to figure it out later. Figure it out now. What are you gonna do if this item sells? What are you gonna do if this item doesn't sell? Stop setting yourself up for failure and start having a plan in place. Thank you guys so much for watching. You're the best, and I'll catch you on the next one.